Hey everyone, this is Joe here with another video tutorial, and today we're going to be talking about checking your available inventory before creating an order to go on, or before creating an invoice for one of your rental customers. This is a new feature that we had just launched, and it's a really slick way to go directly from checking inventory to creating an order, putting items on an invoice and sending it out to a customer. And so I'm going to show you how that works today. After you've logged into your new Daily account, the very top left corner is going to be a menu item called Available Inventory, or in some instances we may refer to it as the QuickTracker. So this is the new QuickTracker. On this video you'll see Available Inventory, but just know that when you log in it may say QuickTracker or something else, but it's always going to be the very top menu item. So you click on that, and what it does is it takes you to this view here where you can select your start and end date. So the example is a customer would call in and say, hey, I need some rental items for let's say it's starting on the 25th and they need it through the weekend, coming back on the 30th. So you would select that date range, and then what it's going to do is it's going to automatically go through all of your booked orders, all of your invoices, and check your available inventory off of those orders and give you a report. And that report is shown here below. So it lists out all of your items by default, and you can scroll through all of them if you'd like. It shows 20 per page, and then down here you'll have some navigation where you could go to the next page of items. Now obviously if you are like a linen rental company or a rental company that has just thousands of SKUs, this could get a little bit hard to digest if you're trying to go through and just manually scroll through and find different items for availability. So to help, we have a search feature up top, and you can just go ahead and start searching for any item you want. Let's say you want to search for tents. You could type in tent, and then anything with tent in either the name or the description of that item would show up, and everything else would be deleted. Another way that you can do it is you can select through the filters on the right hand side here. So we have categories that we've associated with your different items that you've created, and next to each category name you'll have the number of items associated with that category. And let's say we just select our tents category. That's going to show all of the tents stuff that we have. So everything from 8-way crowns, corner joints, hip rafters, J-pins, full tent bundles, everything including everything involving tents would show up in the tents category. And I could do the same thing for chairs, right? I can see all my chairs and nothing else, or tables. Okay, so that's how you quickly view it. So you would go through and one by one listen to the customer and have them tell you what they want to rent. And as they're telling you, you can actually go ahead and start creating an order based off of the items that they're suggesting that they need to rent. So let's say, for example, this customer wants to rent a 20 by 20 tent. I would select the tents category, and maybe I start typing for 20 by 20 tent. And I see here, this is where my tent bundle is, but I don't have any available. It says I have 0 available, 0 pending, and 4 total that I own. So those 4 that I own, it looks like have been assigned to a customer already for a different order, and they're scheduled to come back on the 30th. Now when I hover over this status line, it does show available, pending, and total. Pending items would be any items that are showing up on estimates that haven't yet been converted to an invoice or haven't been confirmed or booked yet by the customer. You've just sent an estimate out to them. So we're keeping track of both available and pending orders to kind of give you an idea of what's going on from a high level view. And then the cool thing is, like, let's say you did want to go ahead and try and reuse some of these tents from Bob's order for this new order. I could actually just go ahead and click the plus button over here, indicate the number of tents that I want to rent. Let's say it's just 1, and then I hit save. What it does is it creates a cart view down here and adds that 20 by 20 frame tent to this pending order that I'm going to create. And then let's say they want to add some tables, so I would actually go up and, let me get rid of this, my tables, and maybe add some 60-inch round tables. So I have 5 that are out of my 100 on 2 different orders, so I should have plenty of those. I can go ahead and add 4 my order, and you see it gets populated down here in the cart. And let's go ahead and do some chairs. I've got plenty of chairs left of both styles, so I'll go ahead and give him the resin chairs. And we'll give him 40 resin chairs. Okay, and so now I've checked for available inventory, and I've put together the start of an order or an invoice for that customer. And then from here, once he's listed out all of the items that they need, I can just go ahead and hit create invoice, and it's going to pre-fill an invoice with those items that I've selected and their respective quantities. Now the cool thing here is that you can actually view the availability directly in the invoice itself as well. So once this is transferred through to an invoice, you'll notice that this 20 by 20 frame tent that I had added, it was not available, and so it is indicating to you here that it's not available. And if I hover over this bundle, it's actually telling me which particular components of that bundle are overbooked and which ones aren't. So I can actually hover over this and see for this 20 by 20, I can actually do everything except for provide the side tees, the 4 side tees, the 4 corner joints, and the 1 8-way crown. So if for some reason I'm able to get these from either a sub-rental company or a competitor or something of mine that I can borrow these components for, then I could actually fulfill the tent because I do have all the tops and everything else that I need to create this order. I just don't have these 3 components. So it gives you a little bit more detailed view of what's actually going on with your inventory when you're using bundles, which is kind of nice. And then over here, you can see how many you have available of just regular rental items. So I have 95 of the 60-inch rounds and 1,100 plus of the resin chairs. So I should be totally fine to book this. Now, since I am overbooked on the frame tent, if I go through and finish off this order and try to save it, it's actually going to warn me and tell me that I'm exceeding the available limit on some of those items, and we know which ones they are because they show up in red here. So that's how you go from checking inventory to creating an invoice. I could go through and fill out the rest of these details if I needed to, and then I would just go ahead and save my invoice and hit create invoice, and now I've booked that order for that customer. Hope that helps, guys. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next video tutorial.